Following Sue Gray's move from civil service into the leader of the opposition's office as his chief of staff, we've just had the government releasing a statement on whether she has broken the rules. And yes, she has. Of course, the mainstream establishment have to wait for the official line, the legality of it, to confirm that she has undermined the civil service and broken the rules. But we can tell you guys now that obviously it's quite clear that she's gone against the key principles against her own conduct, the guidelines of civil service. So we had Jeremy Quinn, Cabinet Office Minister, saying this to the House of Commons.
It is unprecedented for a serving permanent secretary to resign to seek to take up a senior position working for the Leader of the Opposition. As honourable members will expect, the Cabinet Office is looking into the circumstances leading up to Sue Gray's resignation in order to update the relevant civil service leadership and ministers of the facts. Subsequent to that, I will update the House appropriately.
Okay, so one of the key important points about the whole process and the impartiality and professionalism of civil servants is this: the Advisory Committee on Business Appointments. So when it comes to this group, you have to make sure that you inform them. You have to make sure you followed the actual procedure properly. And this is why Harry Cole said that Jeremy Quinn now says that Starmer and Gray have breached these rules by not seeking approval for appointments before it was offered, according to the Cabinet Office Minister, Jeremy Quinn. Now, the 4 sets of rules that may have been breached, which was this was before it was actually confirmed. The code says that, of course, you're going to have senior civil servants, that they must reserve and retain confidence of ministers. And when it comes to advisory business appointments, they have not yet been informed, despite the rules saying that it must happen before getting that job. Also, outside interests that give rise to actual or perceived conflict and contact with the opposition must be cleared. None of that happened. So on literally various levels, they have breached the rules. So this is not only just undermine the civil service, it's also completely being a bit of a shot in the foot for the opposition and the Labour Party. Keir Starmer has made a lot of effort over the last few months to come across as professional and with the man of integrity, openness and transparency. These are his words. And we already talked about yesterday on the channel. Make sure to watch that video where Starmer was being interviewed, and he was completely destroyed in that interview because he was not briefed properly. Clearly, the guy doesn't even know that this interview is going to be about Sue Gray's appointment. He struggled to defend that hiring. He knew that they clearly have broken some of the rules, or at least, or maybe all the rules. And why would you even go on TV if you don't know what you're going to say? So this is not going to really end well for the opposition, but it's also going to damage the whole of the political culture, the whole of the Westminster bubble, which has already been undermined over the last few years, but they're going to make it even worse. And you're not going to then attract good and well-meaning, talented people in this country who should become MPs, who should get into politics, but they're going to stay away. So far, they're not going to get involved because the whole culture, the whole bubble is toxic. It's time to drain the swamp of the establishment. Now, let me know what you think on Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.